Hi, welcome to our video today. This is for the Aerocool Touch 2100 fan controller. Starting at the front of the box, we have got the Aerocool logo up at the top, Touch 2100 Touch LCD technology, an image of what the actual display looks like itself, and then we have got some further specification for the actual fan controller here. We have an innovative touch LCD technology, support of up to maximum 25 watts per channel, so you're probably able to install at least 2 fans, if not potentially 3, depending on the wattage from your fan per channel. There are 5 of them, and it is able to control and read speeds and temperature, etc. from all 5 individually. There are 7 LCD backlit colours, and you're also able to turn the actual display off itself. We have an overheating alarm. We have a fan working display to show that it's working or not, able to switch between Celsius and Fahrenheit, 2 USB 3.0, and also your mic and headphone sockets. Moving it around, on the sides we have information in foreign languages, and then on the back we have some more information about the actual display itself. So starting at the bottom here, we have the 2 USB 3.0 connections. We have your microphone and your headset ports. Down here we have got the colour options available: a red, a green, a yellow, a sort of dark purple, a light pink, a light blue, a white, and a off selection as well. We have your increase and decrease to control the fan speed and also the temperatures, your Celsius and Fahrenheit switch. Your fan speed is indicated here, along with up to 4 bars to show how fast the actual fan is working. We have got your temperature now, and also your alarm temperature and your channel indicated down here as well. And I see it features a brushed aluminium bezel. So let's now get this out of the box so that we can have a look to see what the unit looks like. Okay, so I'm just going to open the actual box itself so we can see what is actually inside. Just bear with me. Okay, so I think that's it. Yep, that's the box empty. So we'll just connect that up, stick that down over there. Okay, so the first thing we have here is obviously the instruction manual, which is going to tell you how to use the actual display itself. As you can see, it is a double DIN, so it will take up 2 5¼ inch bays. Obviously this is going to be in multiple languages as well as English as well. Make sure you have a good read of that. So now, removing the plastic carton on the front, we have the actual display unit itself, the fan controller. So we're going to have a closer look at that in a moment. Also included, we have, let's just open this up, see what we do get. These, looking at it, appear to be spare temperature sensors, and also spare fan controller cables, as well as installation screws for the actual display. We've got some sticky pads to stick the, or sticky strips to stick the sensors down in the various different locations that you'd be looking to stick that. Okay, so this is the front of the Aerocool Touch 2100. As you can see, we have got a very nice brushed aluminium front panel. Obviously I have got a screen protector over there that we're going to leave on for the time being. We've got the Aerocool logo down here and the Touch 2100 branding. The 2 front USB 3.0, along with obviously your various different audio connections. Moving around to the side, I must say, actually, feeling this, it's very, very strong indeed. Very impressed with it. We've got quite a small PCB board here. Now, moving on to the back, this is something you don't normally see. Let me just unravel all these cables a moment so that we can hopefully get a better indication as to what is going on back here. I see all the cables are pre-installed. You do have spares that I've already shown you. So let's just pull everything, or attempt to pull everything out of the way. Bear with me. a whole host of cables. Okay, so the first thing I want to cover, we've got an extremely long USB cable. So we have got your USB 2.0, oh no, sorry, that's your HD audio connection for the headphone and microphone. We have got an internal USB 3.0 header, which is quite an unusual thing to have. Obviously it's USB 3.0, but normally it goes into the cable and runs around to the back of your motherboard. So it's quite nice to see that they've got a header on this, and you'll then obviously have your USB 2.0 connection as well. Crikey, there's a lot of cables in here, so let's just try and get into this and have a look. Right, up at the top here we have got your 5 thermal sensor connections. As you can see here, obviously they're all labelled temp 1 through to 5, and that connects right in up at the actual top here. So let's just try and move that out of the way a moment. Okay, so what else have we got here? Just try and unravel this. Okay, so we have got a black, obviously you can see the majority of the cables are actually all black, apart from the USB 3.0, so that's really nice to see. Normally you do get, obviously they don't normally sort of bother colour coding the actual cables, so it's really nice. We've got your Molex 4-pin power pass-through, and then we have all your individual fan connections. As you can see, apart from fan 1, they are all 3-pin. Fan 1 is also a 4-pin PWM connection, so bear that in mind. Obviously you will either need to use your adapter that comes with your fan, or purchase an adapter if you are trying to use PWM fans for this. So that's essentially it at the back. Obviously it's a whole host of cables, everything's there for you, everything's connected for you. The build quality on the actual display unit is extremely good indeed. Very impressed with that. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to connect this up to a case and also to a power supply, so that we can have a look and see how well the touch sensitivity is on the actual display unit. Okay, so as you can see, we have got the Aerocool Touch 2100 connected up to our Cooler Master case. So I'm just going to give this a switch on, and you can see the colour that is selected first of all is red. So just to start with, I'm going to go through the colour options using the colour button, and then going to go on to the green, the yellow, which is quite a dull mustard looking yellow. I thought it was going to be bright yellow, but it isn't. We then have the blue, which on the box looks purple. We then have a purple. We have a light blue. We have a white, which is very dull indeed. And then we have off, with just the colour logo shown at the bottom. Okay, so as you can see by the indication of the bars going across on both sides and the RPM, I do actually have 2 fans connected. One is a 4-pin PWM and the other one is a 3-pin fan. So the other button on here is to change, as you can see, from Celsius to Fahrenheit, depending on which one you'd be looking to use. Obviously you've got 5 individual channels down here. In order to adjust the fan speed, you literally just touch on the relevant fan speed, and you can then decrease the speed of the actual fan, and you can even actually turn the fan off, which I think is a fantastic feature. I think every single fan controller on the market, you should be allowed to turn the actual fans off, so it's really good that Aerocool have allowed this. Again, obviously just showing you touching onto the second channel. Again, you can obviously turn that off and turn it on. Now, as you can see on this side, we have got the now temperature, so this is the temperature of the actual sensors, and then we also have the alarm temperature down here. In order to adjust this, all you need to do is touch on the temperature, and then you can literally hold it in and reduce that straight down to whatever temperature you want to alarm it out at. So I'm going to set that down to 25, touch it again to save it. Okay, so I'm now going to bring the sensors around. Temperature sensor number 1 is this little fella here. And as you can see, the temperature is starting to go up. It's a very, very faint audible alarm. Okay, so I'm now going to demonstrate with fan number 1, which is this fella here, which is an Akasa Fan at the moment is running at 1700 RPM. I'm just going to stop the fan. And again, also you can see it's flashing, and we do have exactly the same audible alarm. And that's going to now get back up to speed. And I'm now going to just quickly reduce that to turning it off. And the minimum RPM for this particular fan is 1000 RPM. So I'm just going to increase this to the maximum, which is around about 1800 RPM. Okay, so now on to a little bit more technical information as well as our personal thoughts on the actual Touch 2100. Okay, so the first thing to mention is the build quality. Now, a lot of double bay fan controllers on the market are relatively quite flimsy, especially with its sort of sides, the actual side of the actual controller. Now, the Touch 2100, everything seems to be very well built. I like the aluminium brushed effect on the front of the actual fan controller as well. It's not just sort of plain boring plastic. They've actually put a lot of thought into the actual appearance of the fan controller, and the cables and everything like that. Everything is sort of quite nicely laid out on the back. Very simple, very easy to actually use and install, but essentially it's been built very well. Now, the key feature about the Touch 2100 is the actual LCD display itself. Now, so you've got a selectable range of different colours, which means that you are able to pick between the colours for the one that best suits your mood, your system, whatever it may be, and it's a very, very simple and easy way to actually change that. But it's not that, for me, that makes this Touch 2100 stand out. It's the overall look and the layout of the actual display. Also, it's a 5-channel fan controller. On the left hand side, you've got your fan speed with a couple of little bars or notches that sort of give you an indication. Then you've got the RPM next to that. Then you've got the temperature, which you can display in Celsius or Fahrenheit, and also the alarm temperature. Everything's there on the display without it being looking overcrowded and looking confusing when you look at it. The minute you look at it, you know exactly what is going on with the fans, with the temperatures inside your system, and a lot of thought has obviously gone into that, and for me, that is the key feature on the Touch 2100. Another thing that I haven't mentioned yet before, you are able to sort of view the actual display itself at a 45 degree or up to a 45 degree angle from your system. So effectively, if you have your mid-tower case or full-tower case standing on your desk, when you're stood up, you're still able to get a very clear and crisp view of the actual display. Now, as you can see in the video review a little bit earlier, the sensors seem to work very well. The control of the fan speed works exceptionally well. Very, very good with that. And the fact that you can obviously turn the fans off, again, is another real good plus point. The only thing that I was a little bit let down with was the audible alarm. Now, obviously, it's quite sort of silent if you're gaming or something of that nature, or listening to loud music and the alarm goes off. Potentially you're not going to hear this. Yes, it will flash, etc., but an option to make that louder if you wish to do that would have been the icing on the cake for the Touch 2100. But just to summarise, personally, I think this has got to be one of the best touchscreen fan controllers that is available on the market, purely because of the layout of the display, its features, and the way that it overall looks. So a mega thumbs up to Aerocool for the Touch 2100. We hope you liked the unboxing and the overview. Please leave a comment down below. Let us know what you think about the actual display and the colour options, etc. And we look forward to seeing you in our next video.